Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. No. Good morning, everyone. I hope, first of all, welcome to the 2018 Convocation at Oklahoma City Community College. It's in some ways the most exciting time of the year as we're starting the new academic year. The students will be with us next week, and I know especially for faculty, it really is an exciting time, and it is for the rest of us as well. I'm privileged to lead the finest staff and faculty of any community college anywhere in the world, and I appreciate having that privilege. We are here today to start an academic year where we will continue to focus on our students and student success and enriching our community. So I want to get started now with the program. Please welcome the Chair of the Board of Regents of Oklahoma City Community College, Devery Youngblood.
Good morning and welcome back. This is an exciting day. I want to introduce some special people to start off here on behalf of my fellow Board of Regents. I'd like to recognize some folks, and let's start off by recognizing the First Lady of Oklahoma City Community College, Tammy Stewart. Would you please stand? For these others, I'd ask you to stand and remain standing and hold your applause until the end. I want to introduce my fellow Regents. These are the folks I enjoy so much working with. Regent Christy Bergen, Regent David Eccles and his guest, Joyce Malden, Regent Chris Lawson, Regent Jim White, and I believe also we're very fortunate to have some of those who came before us and did so much to help us, former Regents Lenora Burdine, Jack Turner, Mike Voorhees, and Jane Harden. Would you please welcome all of these? Thank you. You know, Convocation is a time of new beginnings, of a new adventure. You don't really necessarily know where it's going, but you know somehow in your heart it's going to be good. My wife Karen and I can relate to this a little bit. Just this last week, we sold our house. We're leaving the suburbs with the pool and the big yard and everything, and we're moving in and have moved in to a rented loft downtown. It's a big change for us. And so we are driving away from closing, and we realized and looked at each other and said, you know, for the first time in our lives, our adult lives at least, from the standpoint of ownership, we're homeless. This is kind of an interesting feeling. The very next day, we moved both of our boys onto campus at UCO. Now, quick side note here, because some of you know Jimmy Brown, who's our Honduran son, who was here the last 2 years. Thank you for all you did. He and our son are rooming together. This is an Oscar and Felix moment in the making. We walk in, Jimmy's bed is meticulously made, his shoes are lined up. We go to his closet, his clothes are in there from the lightest colors to the darkest colors. This is Jimmy Brown. Jackson, on the other hand, has taken every single thing he owns out of a single backpack, turned it upside down on the bed, and I wish this was not true, but I swear, while he's talking to us, he's picking it up going, it's an adventure, it's a new beginning. We don't know where that one's going. We shall see. But we drive away from there and we realize, you know, for the first time in a very long time, at least from the day-to-day responsibilities, we're childless as well. And so Monday morning we wake up and all of a sudden we realize, you know, we don't have a yard to mow, landscaping to take care of, a pool to maintain, no 24-hour parenting responsibility, and we realize that we've gone from homeless to childless to fabulous. So we don't know where it's going. It's a new adventure. It's a new start, and that's what Convocation is about, and that's where you are. Our faculty and staff do so many things every single day that bring about success, from the ordinary things you do, like keeping a line moving, returning phone calls or emails, simply greeting a student who is just absolutely petrified that they're trying to do what they're doing. You make that successful. In fact, every good thing that comes out of here comes through you guys. And we appreciate that. And from our standpoint on the Board of Regents, we want to try to be behind you and help you in every way we can. So when we came to our strategic plan this year, the President alluded to it, we said people write these wonderful big mission statements and then they forget what they say. We wanted to boil it down to 4 words we could always remember because it's what you do. Student success, community enrichment. That's what we're about. That's what you do. You do it better than anybody in America. And on behalf of my fellow Regents, we want to say thank you and welcome back.
Good morning. I'm Regina Schweitzer, the Vice President for Human Resources. It's my honor and privilege to welcome everyone back to campus. Thank you for joining us as we begin another exciting and opportunity-filled academic year at OCCC. We are honored this morning to have some retirees join us. We would like to acknowledge and thank this special group of people for taking the time to be here. Excuse me. As I call your name, if you would, please stand. And let's hold our applause until the end. Ms. Jane Harding, Mr. Larry Barnes, Mr. Keith Eaton. Let's give them applause. Thank you again for joining us. And next, we would like to welcome our newest regular employees, the faculty and staff of OCCC hired between July 1st, 2017 and June 30, 2018. We've all seen your photos on the video, and at this time, we'd like to ask that you please stand and let us recognize you. Welcome to the OCCC family. We hope that you're enjoying your employment with us, and we are looking forward to celebrating with you for many years to come. Here at OCCC, we deem it very important, and in keeping with our tradition, we recognize and acknowledge our staff's longevity in increments of 5 years. Employees who have 5 years of full-time service, if you would, please stand. Thank you very much for 5 years of full-time service. Next, we wish to recognize our employees with 10 years of full-time service. If you have 10 years of full-time service, please stand. Thank you very much for 10 years of dedicated service. And next, we'll recognize our employees with 15 years of service. If you have 15 years of service, please stand. At this time, we'd like to recognize on an individual basis the OCCC employees with 20 or more years of service. Our honorees with 20 or more years of service, please begin to make your way to the stage on my right. With 20 years of service from the Division of Arts, English, and Humanities, let's congratulate Rochelle Mosby. Next, with 30 years of service from the Information and Instructional Technology Services Division, Ms. Janice Pearsall. And finally, with 40 years of dedicated service from the Division of Science, Engineering, and Mathematics, Professor Betty Coleman.
The Employee of the Year awards are presented each year to those individuals held in the highest regard by their students and by their peers. Recipients from each of the three categories, non-exempt, exempt, and faculty, consistently demonstrate service, excellence, accountability, and an unwavering dedication to the mission of Oklahoma City Community College and dedication to our students. The Employee of the Year award in the non-exempt category was nominated, and according to colleagues, this year's Employee of the Year recipient in the non-exempt category consistently demonstrates adaptability in an environment that is ever evolving, is always pleasant, helpful, patient, courteous, positive, inspiring, and loves to serve others, and seems to enjoy the, quote, detective work that goes along with effective inventory control procedures. And if you've worked here very long, you know what that means. This recipient began her career as the Information Systems and Services Assistant in 2011. Currently, she serves as the Technology Support Services Assistant and Help Desk Supervisor. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 Non-Exempt Employee of the Year, Miss Lisa Ballard. Congratulations. Thanks for all you do. Can we get a picture here? Sure. Deborah, come on. Congratulations, Lisa. According to colleagues, this year's Employee of the Year award recipient in the exempt category is knowledgeable, dependable, dedicated, and a steadfast supporter of the college and each member of the faculty and staff. The recipient provides a wealth of insight and experience in the accreditation process through accuracy in collecting, analyzing, and disseminating information across the campus. She mentors women in the OCCC Women's Alliance and serves as a key contact for multiple organizations and groups such as Education Advisory Board, Complete College America, Achieving the Dream, Core Network, and serves as chair peer reviewer for the Higher Learning Commission. This recipient began her career with Oklahoma City Community College in 2005. She was the Director of Institutional Effectiveness. She served as an adjunct and is currently Director of Institutional Effectiveness. Please join me in welcoming the 2018 Exempt Employee of the Year, Dr. Janet Perry. Congratulations, Janet.
Thank you very much.
Could we get a picture with you over here? Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
According to colleagues, this year's Employee of the Year award recipient in the faculty category is highly respected and known by her peers as an advocate and positive influence on campus. The recipient consistently exhibits a tireless devotion to peers, the division, and especially to our students. The recipient challenges students with inventive, critical thinking techniques, encourages continued dialogue regarding social justice issues, and is at the forefront of integrating technology in the classroom. This professor of history joined the full-time faculty of Oklahoma City Community College in 2013. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 Faculty Employee of the Year, Professor Leslie Jones. The Robert P. Todd Leadership Award was created in 2006 in honor of the college's 8th president, Dr. Robert P. Todd, who not only valued leadership but committed his life to making a difference in the lives of students through his personal leadership. The Robert P. Todd Leadership Award recognizes an OCCC employee who has demonstrated outstanding leadership in his or her work. Such leadership reflects excellent work, respect for others, integrity, loyalty, sensitivity to diversity, a sense of shared responsibility, and a commitment to the mission and vision of OCCC. According to colleagues, the recipient of the Robert P. Todd Leadership Award empowers and motivates others to reach their highest potential, is dedicated, honest, driven, and accountable. The recipient leads by example and possesses the highest level of integrity and is an excellent ambassador for Oklahoma City Community College. The recipient began his career with Oklahoma City Community College in 2013 as a campus police officer. He also served OCCC as the campus police sergeant and then as campus police lieutenant. He currently serves as chief of the campus police department. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 Robert P. Todd Leadership Award recipient, Chief Dan Piazza. Congratulations, Chief. Can we get a picture? You need to smile. The Elvin Gray Award was created in 1991 in honor of one of the college's most dedicated and inspiring employees. Elvin Gray always, no matter the circumstances, went above and beyond to serve others. This award is given to honor an employee who exhibits the unique characteristics of Elvin Gray. According to colleagues, the Elvin Gray Award recipient epitomizes the friendly disposition and spirit of Elvin Gray, is very highly respected, and students often request him by name. He's described as dependable, accurate, and unfailingly devoted to Oklahoma City Community College and its students. He is known as a pillar of the academic advising office and works with an average of 1,800 students per year. This recipient joined Oklahoma City Community College in 1979. He began as a student development counselor and also served as an adjunct for several years. He currently serves OCCC as a personal and academic advisor. Please join me in congratulating the 2018 Elvin Gray Award recipient, Mr. Ed Williams. Congratulations to all of our award recipients.
Yes, congrats again to all the award recipients. Good morning. I'm Randy Casmus. I'm Director of Student Engagement and Alumni Relations. And wow, it's great to have the band back together. A great big band. The start of every new academic year will often spur us to think about what's going to be new around here this year. What's going to be different? And what well-known aspects of OCCC are going to be reliably renewed. Renewal, change, and innovation are three things we can definitely count on around here from year to year. In the brief video that we're about to see, we'll hear a little perspective on all of those things from college leadership, faculty, staff, and alumni. I want to read you a quote. Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world. Greg Gardner. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, it was Nelson Mandela. I'm sure Greg feels that way too, though. I know he does. All the things that we do here at OCCC propel the noble cause of education, and through our own renewal and change and innovation, we impact the trajectory of our community and our world. Enjoy the video.
I'm not really sure for 3 or 4 years that the community really realized we were here because there were no buildings that were visible. It was almost all underground.
From the moment I started working at OCCC, I enjoyed it. There was such a feeling of community. I was working with excellent people who really wanted to teach.
We really weren't taking students away from anybody. We were attracting students here that probably, at that time anyway, wouldn't have gone anywhere else.
I think about not only the physical changes in the numbers of buildings and so on, but how we have enhanced our ability to change the lives of students with our programs, and our services to the community.
There was so much available for students to be able to be successful.
From the very beginning, one of the things that really hasn't changed about the college is an acceptance and appreciation for diversity. We welcome all kinds of people, and I think we see the advantage of having the diversity, and we see the sense of having community as well.
I remember one of the important things about the college in the late 80s, early 90s was the women's program. Women were coming to college, going to higher education. The numbers were low, and we were trying to build those numbers, and we provided a program for them, and lots of women have graduated from that program and gone on to do some pretty amazing things.
And I excelled. I loved it. I thought, oh my God, this is the best experience I've ever had. They gave me the confidence that I wasn't a dumb Native American.
And now, in changing our focus, one of the big focuses has been men. Men are struggling. They're not persisting. They're not finishing. And so we have a mentoring program for men that has been tremendously successful and is doing a great job for those.
The big goal, number one, to triple the amount of money that the college raises from people and corporations and foundations is very important, and it will be truly, I think, part of what sets us apart as a trendsetter in higher education, as a leader in higher education.
The impact to the community is really on the more personal level then. It's inviting families in, it's helping people find their way to these educational opportunities, and we know that's what's going to change the community over time. Giving people opportunity, giving them the education that they need to get that next job or get their college degree. If they start with a non-credit class that helps them along the way toward new opportunities.
I think that we, just as a nation, don't want to fail our young people. It's important for us to invest in them. And when you set a high standard for a student, that student begins to believe within himself that he can reach that standard.
And just learn about not necessarily just your degree, but about the community and what you want to do later in life.
Because we know that job creators kind of look at when they're thinking about cities, that one of their questions is what's your higher education presence? Because they're looking for, I think, two things, a culture, and they're also looking for direct opportunities for workforce development like you see here today.
I believe that OCCC is doing a great job of ensuring that our students, no matter where they may come from, will have the opportunity to get a quality education and lead a better life.
This is a place where students can get the help that they need to get a good, strong start and foundation before going on or even from the workforce or even into the university level. But they get that foundation. They get what they need here.
OCCC does a great job trying to simplify, trying to be welcoming to those who are maybe struggling with how do I get ahead?
It just opens so many doors. You know, you come in, you don't know what you're going to go, what direction, with guidance from professors and just, you know, other sponsors and other clubs. Things kind of shape themselves into another career path.
The main goal is vacant buildings to be reactivated because that's such a need to put life on the street, to show the value of the reinvestment and showing what can be done through this investment. Then you're planting seeds for our youth, for our young people, for adults to get skills, get better jobs, invest in the community. So there's so many ways that change is coming through the opportunities, and OCCC is one of those important ones.
I imagine that this building will be packed from floor 1 all the way to the 3rd floor, hopefully, with more and more students. We have a greater need for enrollment. We have a greater need for ESL classes, citizenship, computers. We even have the community businesses around us asking, when can we take Spanish? How can we learn Spanish so that we can better serve the community here? Because it's growing at an enormous rate.
I see a climate where students are giving to the community. I mean, that's something else that we focus on in our mentorship program, that it's not only about you, but it's about others. So we engage in campus activities as well as community service. And so I envision a campus in 20 years where that is just the norm, and that students are actively engaged in helping each other as well as giving back to their communities.
We're not going to depend on our traditional sources of income. We're going to go out and hustle and find other resources to help us achieve our goals.
I'm not a visionary. I can't predict what the future will bring, but what I do know is that we still have students who want to learn.
And we just want to make sure that in 10 years from now, we are leading that example, and we are still offering excellent programming and excellent service to our students here.
The campus is going to go further. I think the technology is going to be involved. I think new programs are going to keep coming in. New buildings are going to be filled out in this campus, and just more opportunities for people in the community, students. It's just going to keep going.
I think that as an institution, we have this spirit of change and innovation and renewal embedded in our collective DNA, and it's up to us. It's our turn to lead the school. It's up to us to make sure that spirit of renewal, change, and innovation continues, and two, make sure that we ourselves both adopt that attitude and also adapt it to current circumstances. Well, good morning again. It's great to be with you. There was a young, very bright high school girl who graduated from high school and went to college in New England. And her parents stayed in touch with her primarily by text, some phone calls, at least once a week and sometimes more often. Toward the end of the semester, the texts became fewer. When the parents would text her, they would be delayed in getting a response, and finally no response at all. And then they tried calling, and the calls sometimes weren't returned, and they were frantic. One day, a letter arrived at the parents' home, and the mother opened the letter. Dear Mom and Dad, I apologize for not responding to your emails and your phone calls. I'm sorry. But I've met a man, and his name is Pierre. And Dad, you will love Pierre because he's your age. And you all will have so much in common to talk about. And Pierre and I have fallen in love. And we're living together. And I have an announcement. I am pregnant with twins. And Pierre is an artist, but he doesn't work because he believes that if he has a job like ordinary people, that it will inhibit his artistic creativity. So I have taken a job at a local diner. It's only a half-mile walk. And so I'm working at the diner, And you know, the doctors now say that a lot of women work right up to the day before they give birth. They're working. And so that's what I plan to do. And unfortunately, when the children are born, I can't go back to school in the spring semester because I'm going to have to work at the diner. But I think with working double shifts and sometimes on weekends, we could scrape together enough money until Pierre starts selling his paintings and kind of finds himself. And I promise you, Mom and Dad, I will go back to school as soon as the children, the twins, start school. So with tears in her eyes and with trembling hands, she turned to page 2 of the letter. Mom and Dad, nothing I said on the first page is true, but I flunked chemistry and I wanted you to put it in perspective. You and I have been through some tough times the last 3 years, haven't we? We've been through some very difficult times, and we've made some very, very tough decisions. But let's put it in perspective. We're still standing. We're still meeting the needs of our students. We're still focusing on student success. We're still adopting new programs. We're going to build new buildings. We're still enriching our community. So when you put it in perspective, we're going to be okay. Just a few months ago in June, the Board of Regents adopted a new 5-year strategic plan called Renewal, Change, and Innovation 2019 to 2023. Renewal. In this context, renewal means a rededication, a recommitment to the core values that this college has had since September 25th, 1972, when we opened the doors for students. The core values of students first, student success, helping students when we can, enriching the community. Those core values are still there. And renewal means recommitting ourselves to those values that are core to our institutional life. Change. I like change. I embrace change. I enjoy change. But let me share this information with you. 8 or 9 months ago, Tammy and I were shopping at Penn Square Mall. And we walked by Dillard's. They had a display of ties out there. And Tammy said to me, "Jerry, you would look really good in a purple tie." And I said, "I have never in my life worn a purple tie, and I'm not going to start now." And so she said, "Well, I'm just saying I think you would look good, especially in that gray suit you have. I think you look good in a purple tie." And I said, "I am not wearing a purple tie." And this went back and forth a few more times. And about 15 minutes later, we walked out of Dillard's with 3 purple ties. Notice what I have on today with my gray suit. Why do I relate that to you? I do because change is hard. Even for people like me who boast, "Oh, I love change. I embrace it. I enjoy it." Even for people like me who say that, if it affects me, if it makes me change one of my long-held habits or beliefs, it's hard, isn't it? It's difficult. So as we move through the next few years and we make changes, I want you all to understand, I understand how tough change is. And I hope that story helped illustrate that. But, you know, for decades, we knew that African American males were the lowest academically performing students we had as a group. But for decades, we taught them the same way, we recruited them the same way, we advised them the same way, we counseled them the same way, and we did everything the same. What do you think happened? They failed the same way. And then a few years ago, we began a mentorship program, beginning with African American males, but being expanded this year to other groups. We changed. We changed what we did. And as a result of that change, we now have a different result, don't we? We have African American males succeeding who are in that program at levels far higher than our average students. But in order to make that change in their life, we had to change what we were doing. But that's a concrete example of how change can be so beneficial. You know, a few minutes ago I mentioned renewal. And I mentioned this recommitment to student success and putting the student first. In just a few weeks, we're going to open a food pantry for students. That is a recommitment, if you will. It's a renewal of our focus on student success and student learning. It is an example of how, if we know what we believe in, renewal, then we use that to adapt to the circumstances. And so we're renewing that commitment to student success by feeding hungry students. Innovation. One of the initiatives in the Board of Regents' 5-year plan was enhancing online learning. And so I have decided I'm going to create a task force for each one of the initiatives to focus on that particular initiative. And just recently, I asked Dr. Thomas Harrison if he would chair the task force on online learning. And he agreed to do that. Let me tell you what I told him. I said, I'm asking you to bring back a recommendation to me that will make Oklahoma City Community College the best community college online learning in the world. I didn't say Oklahoma City, and I didn't say the state of Oklahoma. I said the world. And I think that's a great idea. But that's not innovation. Talking about something is not innovation. We have to act on the idea. We have to execute on the plan to achieve the idea. And so in the next few years, we are going to work very hard. We are going to have total commitment, and we are going to have to commit resources, but we are going to be the best community college online education in the world. Not because of what I say. It's easy to say those words, but it will happen because innovation occurs only when somebody does something, not just about what they say. It's challenging, but we're going to make it. I want to go back to change. For years, our employees have not had a salary increase. I think it's time to change that, don't you? Yeah. With the full support of the Board of Regents, I am announcing today an across-the-board 3% salary increase. And by the way, it will be retroactive to July 1st, and you will receive the retroactive portion with your end of September payroll. I'm so happy to be able to make that announcement. Well, finally, renewal requires recommitment to core values, and change requires courage, and lots of it. And innovation requires us to do things that we've never done before, and it requires us to do things we've never even thought of doing before. I believe, and I hope you do too, renewal, change, and innovation is our promise for today, and it is our hope for tomorrow. I wish you a great academic year. Thank you. Enjoy the day, and thanks for being here.